a lot of energy, a lot of sounds. I love it. Okay. You ready? Okay. I'm so excited to welcome my dear friend and colleague, Dr. Hiscock from Hastings College. Thank you so much. I'm just going to read briefly who he is. I mean, you can see it, but try to make it in my own words. He's the director of performance music at Hastings College in Nebraska, about 3 hours north from here. And besides his teaching job, he's actually, in the way we met, is because he's a co-founder and artistic director of the Arson Festival in Ashland, Nebraska. Which is about to start its second season this year. And so we collaborated in that one, and we were both faculty also in the Opera Festival in Bodrum, Turkey, this past summer. So you'll see, he has an impressive CV and impressive experience, just singing all over the place. Ties with obviously the University of Nebraska Lincoln. That's where you got your MM and DMA, right? So it's really, really great that we can have him here working with some of our students. And then, for those of you who might not be familiar with the Masterclass, the way this works is it's a good opportunity for our students to have this extra performance chance to just kind of like do what they do, sing. But it also combines a little bit of what usually happens during a lesson. So it's a combination of a vocal lesson slash maybe a lecture too, because I see a lot of people here that are involved with voice lessons or interested in just vocal technique perhaps. So our presenter in this case can not only work with the student individually, but also address the audience about a specific topic that you might see fit. So yeah, I'll leave that to him. But yeah, we have a good selection. Nice repertoire, a couple of German pieces to start with, and then some Italian. So, when we get started, Charlie? Yes, I will lower it. I can do it too. No, it's fine. Take care of it.
Hi, Charlie. It's not great, guys. I'm here. I'm working with you today. It's going to be awesome. You can call me Jerry from Washington, or Dr. Hiscock, whatever makes you more comfortable. I just thought I'd say just a couple things before.
Okay, go ahead.
Would you mind, just for our sake today, I know that we have a good program. That's not always the case. I just want to hear you introduce your piece, if that's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Do you mind? Just your,
yeah,
always say.
we always do.
Okay,
Yep.
beautiful. And then just so you know, as we're working, this guy's going to keep track of time for me. So if he jumps in and he's like, stop!
Nothing personal.
We'll stop there, and then if you ever wanted to follow up with me, I'll give about something that we were working on. We can find time to do that, or email about it, or something like that.
Okay.
Does that feel okay?
Yep.
Awesome. I will let you guys sing through your entire piece without stopping. Just so you know.
Will you?
I
How graceful. I am Charlie Cypher, and I will sing Liebst du oder Schönheit by Clara Schumann.
one thing that you really loved about what you just did?
The last phrase, the deep leap, but then we're working on my switching between voices.
Between chest and head
Yeah.
voice, beautiful, yeah.
So I went down that run, but then I like switched over and then it didn't go back up.
Ah, you felt like you didn't navigate through that transition
Yeah.
period, space as well as you like.
But we've been working on getting my sound forward instead of back.
So that was something that you wanted to change.
Yeah.
About your performance.
Yeah.
Okay, but you felt, what was one thing that you loved about your performance? Was it that last line?
Not the last line.
Okay, what was something you loved about your performance? Something you really liked?
I remembered all the words.
Yes! And that's tricky with this piece. Why?
I get them switched around. Like I have all the words, but
Yes.
it's like putting it in the right place.
What's the form of this piece? I'm putting you on the spot now. Don't freak out.
What's the
Okay,
form?
What's the form? Do you know what the form of the piece is? What kind of musical form it is? That's okay.
I don't know.
So do you have verses in there?
Yeah.
You have first verse and you have second verse, and it repeats the same, it repeats different text, but with the same melody,
Yeah.
right? So that's what we call strophic form.
Okay.
And that's very common for art song of this period, which is the romantic period. It's
Yeah.
pretty early in the romantic period to be inside. Yeah?
Yeah.
Clara Schumann is like, she's kind of like middle, but like kind of on the early side. Right?
Okay.
At least these pieces. So the thing I was going to ask you next was what's something you wanted to change, and that was that you
My
said
switching, yeah.
you're worried, you think about that, yeah?
Yeah.
Does that kind of consume your thoughts when you're performing this?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Look behind you.
Okay.
It's like so when I was in high school, I was told never to sing in my chest voice.
Oh, interesting, okay.
So it's always been in my head voice. So since I got here, it's been trying to switch between and getting that middle ground.
Yeah, are you on Instagram?
Yeah?
Do you follow House of Chimay?
No.
Okay, well, there is this, probably younger, he's probably in his 20s, but he's kind of blown up as a vocal teacher in New York, and he does these amazing video montages of different famous singers in just the same clip, or the same piece, the same section from like 8 different mezzos or something,
Yeah.
and then compares them, and there is a very much a resurgence interest in building the sustaining power of the chest voice back into this kind of literature. So that's cool that you're thinking about that. It's also one of sort of the main tenets of El Canto, right? Which is that you're going to unify the range. Okay? So we can work on that some. I'm just a preface. I'm not a Masterclass teacher where I here's this trick, and now you're going to sing this section again, and you're going to sound amazing. Okay? That's preface number 1. Preface number 2 is I'm going to throw some ideas. My goal today is to give you some maybe different ways of thinking about this, and maybe some new tools in your toolbox that you can apply to this in a practice room later. And work on it. Or because you're a singer, walking around the quad, or while you're brushing your teeth in the morning, or when you look in the mirror to check your hair. These are all times when singers are practicing. Pianists give us a hard time not practicing as much as they do. But what I will say is that our practice comes in very little bits here and there, and we do it constantly, all day long. And if you're aware of what you're doing and what you're practicing, it's real practice. Okay? You can write it in your practice. Okay, next practice. If I say something, this is number 3. If I say something that doesn't work for you, because your body is different than mine, the way you sensate all of this stuff is different than me, if it's different than what your teacher's telling you to do, just say, well, that was interesting, I'm glad you did that, and then forget about it. Okay? And maybe 20 20 years down the road, it will be meaningful in some sort of way. Who knows? If not, no worries. Okay?
Yep.
All right. Awesome. So the first thing I thought about when you were doing this is I just
Like rocking?
No.
No?
Oh, actually. Okay. I was in Masterclass once with a very famous soprano who was like the muse for a 20th century composer, and it was one of the most horrifying, embarrassing moments of my life because she told me once. I mean, it's like very old sort of teachers, and they're like, they didn't want to play something the second time. Something the second time, and I was like, you know. And I was doing this thing where I was like kind of going like this. I tend to do it. I tend to like try to find my balance or find my core or something. And she gets down on all fours in front of everyone and makes me sing the piece holding my ankles the whole time. She's like this little tiny woman. She must be like 4'8" or something, you know? So it was just, there's photographic evidence of this. It's not kosher for people. But anyways, so it wasn't the rocking. What I wanted you to do is I wanted you to find more stillness in this piece, okay? What's the whole goal of singing this kind of literature is to share something very intimate and beautiful with everyone here, okay? First of all, you sing for yourself, and second of all, you sing to communicate something to them, to share something intimate and beautiful and emotional with them, right? Does that feel fair to say? Okay, cool. Especially art song. Because art song comes out of this very unique period of time where industrial revolution is happening. The piano's just been invented. Composers are finding new ways to make money by selling their own printed music. We now have printing presses that are getting better, all that kind of stuff. And all of a sudden they're thinking about not just librettos for operas, which we'll hear later in some of the Italian pieces, but they're thinking about this very beautiful poems, these very beautiful poems, and how do I express this in the music that I'm writing. And I'm going to share it in pretty intimate settings, like salons, in people's homes, that kind of thing, right? So, what are you singing about?
Love.
You're singing about love. So this is do you know who the poet is for this? Friedrich Rückert. Rückert was a German romantic poet who was a contemporary of Schubert. And he, this poem is used in another very, very famous set by Mahler called Rückert. Okay? And this piece is actually, he's writing this out of the emotions that poured out of him after all of his children, his wife, everyone died. And he was just decimated. Okay? And this is like a poem that's coming out of that kind of love. Right? So what's the first line? Liebst du schön, right? You got this. You got this. You got this.
For love.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't written my music.
That's good.
I just.
So there's all these little verses, right?
Yeah.
And it says,
I can tell you the mermaid one.
if you love for beauty, don't
Beauty.
love me,
That's it.
love for beauty,
Yeah.
love for mermaids, all this stuff,
Yeah.
right? Love for sunshine, all that kind of stuff. And then what's the very last thing that you say?
For love.
Okay, before that. He goes through all these things, like, don't love me, love for these things. And then he says, no, actually,
Love.
love me, love me. Right? So you sing the same thing over and over. It's got to change. And the meaning has to come out of your body. I'm getting somewhere, I promise. I'm not just talking for a million years, I promise. The meaning has to come out of you. You have to make the music happen. Your job is to make the music happen. How, if you're not grounded in your body, then how can that meaning come out of you and do something really special for all these people? Okay? We're going to do something really silly.
Okay.
That's okay. Whatever's with you. What I want you to do is just bring them even. Can you bring them as even as possible? Okay. Now you're going to do something really silly with me, okay? You're going to do what I just talked about and rock forward. Find where you feel like you're about to fall forward. You haven't fallen yet. You have to squeeze your core just a little bit. You find that?
Yeah.
You got it?
Yep.
Okay, beautiful. That's it. That's where you want to be. 60% at the front, 40% in the back. That's the zone you want to find. Okay? Now, I want you to do something else really silly with me in front of all these people. Are you game? I'll do it too. I'll do it.
Go ahead.
We can turn around. Let's continue. Okay, you're going to untuck your hips. Just a little bit. Untuck your pelvis. Now you tuck your pelvis. Okay. Give yourself some height. Do it again. Okay. You could do this 10 times when you first get out of bed. And that's practice. You can never practice it. Why? That's not silly. Why? Because your body is your instrument. If you're an oboe player and you're making reeds, is that an important skill to being a professional football player? Yes, absolutely. Okay? If you're a singer, getting to know your instrument and sensing your entire instrument while you're singing is an important part of being a singer. You have to know this music in your body. Your brain is going to fail you. It's going to. Your emotions are going to get the better of you. All kinds of people. Your body has to know what to do. Okay? Because your voice is in here. Can you see it? Can you touch it? Can you tune it? Not really. Not really. Your brain. Right, exactly. So you have to rely on the fact that you have kinesthetic and you are ability to sense your body. Okay? So now, when you tuck the pelvis up, can you feel the hip flexors right here? Pull just a little bit. Do you feel them? Cool. Awesome. Now, toes up and back. Whew. Put the hand up on there. Yes. Can you feel? Untuck your knees. Don't. Oh yeah. Yeah. Don't block your knees. Yeah. Okay. Now, before you sing this first phrase, how I can. Oh, dang it. What do we have there? That's it. Okay? I want you to take a beautiful breath through the nose. And I want that L to come early. Your knees were beautiful. That's a big compliment. Okay? I was thinking this is going to be the time where you just, all the tension in the world comes through, and you have a beautiful E. If you have a beautiful E, you're doing so much stuff right. Okay? Pure tongue vowel. E, Lee. Say, Lee. Say this one. No. Lee. Liebst du Schönheit.
Liebst du Schönheit.
No, don't get away. Don't get away. Don't get away. Liebst du Schönheit.
Liebst du Schönheit.
Schönheit. Yeah, beautiful, okay? Now, I want you to take a nice breath through your nose really early. Fill up all that. Feel the connection. You're breathing all the way down to your toes, okay? I want you to feel a little smile. You know, just at the end. Whole first section of the piece is about it, okay? Almost laugh, almost fall on your face.
Oh, awesome.
That's singing.
Awesome.
Oh, sorry, I'll start over, okay? Big breath, big breath. Here we go. Yes, we got this again. That sparkle right here, the cheek, on the cheeks. You want that, okay? You want that. It's going to make you more resonant, okay? Feel through the piano, feel the chord, feel the sparkle, and smile at that. Okay, smile. Smile, smile. Make your music happen. Say the word.
Schönheit.
Schönheit. Why is that hard to be one word? We have two different kinds of consonants. We have, do you know what the two kinds of consonants are? Anybody here? What are the two kinds of consonants? Oh, I wasn't asking you. So, we have the close to the head. Schönheit. We have to have this big puff of the air. You can't put pitch on it, that's what it means.
Okay.
You have pitched, and can't put pitch on it, right? So you need to give extra breath there. You're at the end of your phrase, you're giving extra breath. Take your hand, something you can do in the practice room, it helps me all the time. Give yourself a little one of these or a little one of these, okay? Really, you gotta be intense with it. You gotta be intense with it. You gotta let the muscle engage, okay? Okay, last time. This is really getting good. Yes! That's better. Did that feel more musical? Okay. Thank you. We got somewhere eventually. Yeah? Thank you for bearing with me.
Hey everyone, my name is Ashton Ramsey. I'm going to be singing The Lotus Bloom by Robert Schumann.
It's been important for me my whole life, okay? And especially in the last 15 years. Perfection is boring, okay? Perfection is boring. You don't need it. You don't want it, okay? You breathe correctly through so much of this piece. Wonderful. Wonderful, okay? What's something you wish you would have done better?
Some of the pronunciation.
Yeah.
I wish I would have done correctly.
Okay.
I looked a lot at it, and then
That's okay.
I did.
You didn't get it in your body enough. Yeah? That's okay. That's okay. Did you know what you were singing? Yeah? Okay. That's the important part. Right? Do you feel like you communicated the emotion of the piece in the way that you wanted to?
Could have communicated it a little better.
Okay? You were thinking about a lot of things. I felt like I didn't watch you thinking.
My eyes were like.
No, that's okay. There's this thing that people
are locked, don't do that.
Oh,
Okay? Yeah. I love how you were standing. I wish you for this. I wish you were a little bit more connected with the pianist. Would you mind standing just a little further? You don't have to all the time, just for right now, while we're working. Yeah, you can do that. Do you think that holding that will stop your nervous tick? Because it's distracting. We all have got them, but yours shows. Okay? So, what are you going to do for right now to train yourself to not do that?
I haven't really tried grabbing on something that
You
might.
could. That was the worst offender. Yeah. So you can do a couple things, okay? Pretty easy thing to do just to train yourself. Just train yourself. I would say, I'm going to say something very controversial right now. I'm going to say it with a lot of gusto. And I'm going to hold it lightly, so you can just, this is on recording, so I'm saying that. I say button, you're top button.
Okay.
You would get told by adjudicators all the time to have it unbuttoned. You'll see all the old singers. You don't have to do both. But you're up there, okay? It's the same thing. This is so dumb. I don't mean to talk about clothes. But it's the same thing of like, we're down here, you're a couple steps up. I want to see you. I don't want to think about whether your shirt's getting untucked or your fly's accidentally open or something. The suit jacket, in fashion, you would always have it one button down. Okay? If you're at the piano where you have an ill-fitting suit, that's different. Okay? You may need to have it to get enough breath and all that stuff. You're fine with that, right? So, just give me one of these, okay? Just one hand out, like this. Very appropriate, little, and then take your other hand and just kind of give one of these like that, okay? Yeah, it doesn't even have to be so tight. It's however you feel comfortable. Just a little touch. It's a very classic. No one will fault you for that, okay? That's very classic. It will train you to not do this when you're nervous, okay? That's what I was talking about. You're nervous today.
Oh, maybe I was playing because I do that.
No, you didn't. You locked your ears instead.
Yeah.
So just get one of these. Now, just get one of those. Yeah. Give me a little bounce. Yeah. Rock it out. Yeah. That's good. I like it. Can you give yourself just a little one of these? Okay. Just to remind yourself. This is Alexander. Take your hands. Yes. If you feel comfortable. No. You're just giving yourself a gentle touch. You're aligning your rib cage and your waist down. Now you're gonna take it here. You're gonna remind. Take your hands here. Just touch right down the back of the neck and remind this to go up. Feel taller. Feel more stretched out. Yeah. Now give your hands. One last step. You're gonna put them on your rib cage and you're gonna rotate your ribs back. So you feel all those little muscles, the intercostal muscles in between each rib. How many ribs do you have?
Maybe you know this.
How many keys are the piano? 88.
Oh, okay.
24 ribs. 24 ribs. Okay? Yeah. I mean, there's other people who have different, yeah. But, yeah. Feel it, rotate under, feel it. Do you feel it? Don't look your knees. Great. You feel good? You feel tall?
Yeah.
You feel poised and ready to go?
Yes.
Now, you can be delicate. But I don't want you to be delicate yet. Okay? Find your hands. I want you to sing this first phrase at a good, healthy mezzo forte. Okay? Here we go. No, that's not mezzo forte. It's try again.
Okay.
Do it one more time. I want to see you breathe.
Okay.
One more time. I want to see you breathe. I want to hear you breathe all the way back here. Sorry. Great. That's pretty good. Do that again. One more time. Do it one more time. Say it. Yeah. Can you do that? Yeah.
Man.
Okay. I want you to think about it. Tall I in IPA. It. Say it. Like it.
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 palate?
Yeah.
Now, one finger, each side of the nose. Don't hurt yourself if you have allergies. Great. Now, I want you to sing this first phrase. Mezzo forte. Finger stay.
Okay.
Finger stay. Okay, sing the first phrase. Mezzo forte. Don't lock your knees. I want to see you breathe. And don't let it be nasal. Okay, here we go. Keep going. Still mezzo forte. That's good. Loud to you?
No.
Or did he just seem present in the room? You could hear his voice, you were getting what he was saying. I don't think you should, for a long time, okay? You're going to get to a point where you will, but I don't think for now, I don't think you're doing yourself any favors by singing quietly, okay? You are a vocal athlete now, okay? Your body is your instrument. Your voice is a muscle. And every time you go and you do technique exercises, when I do them in the mirror and in the morning, I still go, why did I do that? Because it took me years to get rid of the tongue tension that kept me from being able to do a pure E. And that's how I learned it. E, I, me, how did I get those? I had to do it over and over and over. In the mirror, in between class, in the mirror. That's in the bathroom. When I was walking in the halls, when I was walking, I memorized every single one of my grad recitals. Walking my babies down the street while they had different illnesses and and I would just go out and I would just repeat my text to me in rhythm, out of rhythm, over and over, thinking about that stuff, okay? You need to build muscle of your voice. You have a very beautiful voice, okay? We want to hear it, right? In vocal music, okay? In vocal music, the dynamics are not intensity. They are mood. Okay? By and large. Is that okay thing to say? It's a Masterclass, so I have to say things with bigger. Okay? So, what's the mood of this? Rather slow. But this is higher time, right? You know anything about the guy? And everyone in his family wanted him to be a lawyer. He went to law school. He did really bad. And his family was rich, and he was introduced to all these socialites and stuff, like they did in that time, still do, I guess. And he just wrote poetry, and it's just wildly, it's been criticized as being pretty mediocre. But he's an important German poet, It's going to keep on coming up over and over and over. What to you is the mood of this piece?
Well, it's about a flower that only blooms every nighttime. Talk about that.
Okay, give me 3 emotion words.
3 emotion words.
That's all I want. 3 emotion words, max. 1 is better, but 3 is good.
Let's see. Pain.
Okay.
Distraught. That's a good one.
Okay.
Distraught.
Okay. Great.
Eager.
Okay. All right. But it's not, all of that's around one thing, right? It's all swirling around, German romantic, right? It's all about love here, right? And all those emotions are swirling around, and he's doing what he's comparing that to the lotus bloom and what? How it yearns for what? What else? You're so mean to me. Okay. Completely different thing. The only part, that last thing you're saying, German was better. Okay? Could understand the words. What I didn't like was the phrasing in the last 2 iterations of for Liebe und Liebes. Okay? It died. It just died. It didn't have any line. It's disjunct, right? It's a disjunct musical line, which makes it tricky. It has to be connected. What is your musical goal in that? You have 1 musical goal. Where are you getting to? You know what I'm talking about?
Sorry, I'm on the spot. I'm like thinking way too fast.
So you're thinking. That's one way to put it. Where's my musical goal? Where are you going to? I'm not a good pianist, so I can show you really well. Where are you going? What's the musical goal? What is the Liebesweg? Okay? That's where you want to go to. You're going all the way to the dotted half at the end of the phrase. Okay? Cannot break the line before that. There can't be any articulation in there. It has to be just beautiful, oozing legato the whole time. You may not be able to do that at a piano, even though that's what you really know in your heart. You want it is so tender and achingly beautiful. Okay? It's going to be more achingly beautiful if we can hear you, because we'll know what you're doing. And it'll be even more achingly beautiful if you sing that musical line so it goes all the way to the end of the phrase. Okay? Can you just try that one more time? Yeah?
The last part?
Yeah, just those last 2 iterations of that. Yeah? Okay? Think about the nose, but don't hold it. Do the hands so you don't get nervous. Unlock your knees. Bend those bad boys. Yep.
Four, Liebe. Start with the 4, you pick up.
Better? Do it even better this time. Great. Do it one time, that last time, no retard. Just do it in rhythm, just so we can have the musical line go all the way there. Do it one time, lip buzz. One time, lip buzz. That one, just that last 2 bars. Yeah, lip buzz.
So, you say the buzz? Oh, okay.
Great. Can you do it without the articulation? Try it. You have to do a lot of air. It takes a lot of air to do that. Good. Now sing it just like that. I think you will too. Just keep working on that. Yeah, the more you get into your body, the more you connect the emotion and the meaning of the text to the breath, and you keep the breath free flowing, okay? You can trust the air. Yeah? Good work, sir.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Kylie Troyer. I'm a junior at Elmwood High School, and I will be singing O del mio dolce ardor by Duke.
We heard some German art song, and now we get to hear some what?
Italian.
Yeah, classical, Italian, early classical.
And this guy is a big opera composer, right? He's changing the game a little bit. Yeah, he's doing some things. He's doing some things. So, what do you know? So this is a classic. This is such a good teaching art. You learn so much stuff, and you're doing so much stuff super, super well. What's something you like?
I like my last little cadenza.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That power stir up. You're really doing it. Nice. I love that you're going through that. What's something that you wish you would have done better?
I don't know, I was just a little shaky because I was nervous.
Yeah, of course. That's okay. Beautiful work. Beautiful playing. She sounds great. This is wonderful. Okay. You know the story of this? You know what's happening here. You know this is, so in opera, we have kind of like some different parts, right? You have Recital, right? Which is like the kind of spoken. And the point of that is to move the story forward. And then all of a sudden you have these things, you're like, and you have an aria where someone waxes elegant about what they're feeling. Yeah? What are you feeling in this?
It's like a yearning.
My ardor!
Yeah.
My sweet, sweet ardor. Yeah. Right? A yearning. What are you yearning?
Person. Yeah.
Okay, you're yearning for a person. Yes. Uh-huh. You are. So, the story of this. You gotta know. When you're singing things that are from an opera, you gotta know the story. Okay? Classic. Classic. Do you know that phrase, the face that launched 1,000 ships? Have you ever heard that before? Has anybody here heard that before? The old people probably have heard that.
Old people.
Yeah.
The old people have heard
Yeah.
You're just entering your prime.
Oh, sorry.
So, you have Paris and Helen of Troy, right? Paris is this like, kind of like, he's this prince, and he's the Prince of Troy, okay? And he is considered to be like the dandy of the time, right? He is very fashionable. All the gods consider him to be the most beautiful thing on earth, okay? Helen is part God. Helen is the most beautiful woman on earth. And if I say something that's wrong, somebody correct me. Helen is the daughter of Zeus, okay? And has a mortal mother. And is married already. But Paris sees her and falls in love with her, okay? So earlier, there's these three goddesses, one of them is Aphrodite. And they have this like little game where they're like, who's the most beautiful, of us? Because there was this apple, okay? And this apple was given, it said to go to the most beautiful wedding. And they end up breaking up this party because they're doing it, and they're like, oh, I know, we'll ask Paris, okay? So they go to Paris, they appear in Paris, and Hermes comes with his little ankle wings and brings the apple, and Aphrodite says, I will give you the thing that you want the most. I will give you whatever woman you want, basically, if you give me. Here's that. Okay? Fast forward, some horrible things happen. Helen gets taken by Paris. She's confused. There's Aphrodite makes her fall for him. It's not good. It's like date rape, it's like, it's bad stuff, but then they're together. So that's what this opera's about, okay, basically. Yeah?
Okay.
Got it?
Got it.
Cool. So this is big stuff, and you're doing big singing, which is awesome. I'm gonna make you do something horrible, because you're really doing so much great stuff, okay? You're thinking, I can tell you're pronunciation overall is just really, really fine. Little tiny, little things that you're kind of getting we call it the vernacular of the Italian. Okay, and it takes a while to get for it to feel like it's something that's from me, right?
Right.
And that's how one of the goals that singers have, is to be able to do that between several different languages. Okay, I want you to go. Let's go to the second verse after that cadenza. I'm going to make you lip bust, okay? What the biggest thing I saw that I think you could improve in your performance of this today, maybe it's applicable to your other singing too, okay? Is what we kind of dovetailed right here with Ashton, which is that sense of musical line, thread that's going through all of this. Okay, it's just got to be just pulled out. It's like taffy. Okay, so I'm going to make you do that.
Okay.
You're going to take your hands and you're going to pretend you have like taffy, okay? And you're going to just pull that through the whole line like you have a bow on a violin, and you're just, you're going to feel through the chord, okay? A very famous voice teacher, who wasn't a great voice teacher, but he's a famous opera singer, and he said, everything from here down is Chuck Norris. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
There's no
Everything from here down.
Sorry.
They don't know who Chuck Norris is.
Oh, that's all the Chuck Norris jokes, you know? All this stuff. Basically, it says this is empty, this feels empty, and this is just, you gotta feel connected to the chord. I know we don't want to be flexing and hold, okay? But we've got to feel firmness through all of this abdominal wall, because it's going to redirect the pressure from here down to here, okay? So this is going to help us. It's going to help us feel the musical line. It's also going to help us feel connected to our chord, okay? So you're going to sing this line, and you're going to do just the most beautiful, beautiful musical sigh. What do we call a musical sigh? Well, this isn't really one. It's not just a second. It's not. It's a pas de deux. Okay? Really goose it up, okay?
Okay.
Kind of slide it in, the chord maybe throw it in there. We're not going to keep that. We're just getting something into this music, okay? Can you just the taffy is just really hard taffy, okay? I don't feel the power in your fists. Yes! That's it! Here we go. Great! That was very beautiful. They kind of all felt the same to me.
Okay.
Okay? I felt and what I'm getting for is okay, can you do that? Put one more time. Put a little tiny imaginary H. Imagine there's a little tiny H at the very beginning, okay? Yes. Great. Do you see what you do with your hands? Do you see?
No.
That's what I said not to do. We want. Then we gotta tone it back from that, right? But that's where I want you to go. Go all the way over the wall. And then you can correct back, okay? Go to Buffalo, as they say. No? You never heard that? Oh, well, now you have. All the great singers are shooting for New York, right? Yeah, if you overshoot it, what do you hit? Buffalo. You end up in Buffalo. Now, think about this.
Yes.
Is that hard for you? Is it
Sometimes, yeah.
tricky?
Yeah.
And then, if it's a thing, don't worry about it, okay? But if your hip is rotating in, it just makes it so much harder for you to connect your core. You know, you can have your feet close together. Well, female singers all the time have their feet close together. It's totally fine. What you want to feel is you want to feel energy coming up from the floor. It's radiating through your core, okay? It's moving the air, and then you won't get these little bumps.
Okay.
Now, this style of singing is all about smoothness and if I'm right, of all of the styles of singing, the schools of singing in Italian, we want it to be as vowel to vowel as possible. I'm not going to be mean and try to make you sing this on all vowels. But if your teacher did that later, that would be her choice. She's not her choice. I thought maybe she was happy. You seem mean. Okay, so can you just rotate that foot out a little bit?
This one?
That's the offender. Yes. Great. You're going to overcorrect. You're going to overcorrect all of it. Yes. Great. Do you feel a little tug right here to the hip flexor?
Yeah.
Okay, give me a. Nobody look. Great. Are you doing your cheeks? Perfect. Great. Now, take away the tapping. Go feel right here. Don't let it move. Sing the whole phrase without your jaw moving.
Okay.
Okay? Oh, I'm giving you so many of these things out. It's so awful, it's so mean. One more time. What you've been doing with the beautiful onset at the O here, well, as soon as I said put a little imaginary H, did everyone notice that? She immediately corrected. That was so beautiful and fantastic. A very balanced onset after that, okay? Before that, it had been too hard. All right? Okay, what? Just this phrase, one time. Great. I think that's better. I like that. It feels more connected. It feels like you know what you're doing. Get those bumps out of here, okay? If you do that, this is just, so good. Okay, let's take the very end for our last little tiny thing. The very, very end. I want to get the hands one more time. And then do something.
Okay, that's fine.
I want you to just hold your jaw.
Okay.
Don't hurt yourself. Okay? Don't hurt yourself. I think you can handle it. Shoulders up, shoulders back, and down. Can you crack in that crack? Like put a walnut between there and kind of crack them? And this is hard stuff, all right? We don't want to lose the engagement from the core, but we want to have a nice, noble posture here. Pull the jaw. Where is that coming from? Here. Not here. Here. Can you just do that last little bit? Not here. Here. Bounce it. Great. I distracted you. One more time. Sorry. Great. The way you move the air in a ski, that's the best thing you've done today. Move the air like that everywhere. Get the bumps out. This will be, you'll be raking in the money, okay?
Hello, I'm Christopher Collier, and I'll be singing Vive Violette by Alessandro Scarlatti. tried feeling like I was projecting out more like that, so.
Nice. Some of you want to do better.
Never else.
We all do. Anytime I'm giving a recital or in a performance, that first mistake is always such a barrier, right? Because you're like, what you can be like, "Wah," or you can be like, oh, got it out of the way. It's gonna happen, right? So, yeah, hard let us go.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful scene. It's a beautiful scene. Why don't you just start it again? Okay? And I talked with almost every other person. No, I talked with all of them about this. Okay? And then you went up there and you did something. I was just like, Jay, you got it. I wanted you to make a change with your posture. And what do you think that was? What did you might have been nervous and not paying good attention. What did I talk
wasn't
about?
paying much attention.
What did I talk about?
I was paying attention.
That's okay, I understand. What did I, someone else? His feet, what was he doing? Where are your toes, man? Pretty good, not quite, pretty good. Can you make it forward? Can you make them hip width apart?
That is it?
No, I don't think so.
Not wider.
Go a little wider. Go a little wider. Wider? Yeah. Go a little wider. Okay? Not go big wide. Those toes forward is going to change the game for you. Okay? Yeah. You already look better. You look less like a boy and more like a man. Okay? Now, we don't want to get. Okay? You might be singing some Bible and saying like, am I okay? Am I okay, Bible? But don't give it away from the waist down, okay? Let us have that up here, okay? Good. That's better. Loosen the knees. Loosen the knees. What do you feel that's different? Does that feel weird? Do you feel more pressure through your pelvis?
Yeah, I feel like I'm leaning forward more.
What was the first thing I talked about?
Yeah, leaning forward.
Controlled falling. Okay? You want this to be touching the edge of the universe. Okay? When you're singing. You're doing something really spectacular for the world, for you. Okay? It's the thing that makes life worth living. Okay? You're already freaking out on me, man. Keep on working on this. Toes forward. Toes forward. Yep. Oh, that's good. Make heels out. Heels out. Go really all the way far. Go way far. Yeah. Go way far. Okay? Feel the pressure? Okay, fine. Good. Good. Now, like you're leaning forward a little bit. Okay? Great. You bring the chin down. Take your finger. Move your chin down. Do you feel right to left here? Okay. We want to be balanced. We want to be connected to our whole body. You are a three-dimensional person. And you don't want to sing like you're two-dimensional. Okay? It's flat. You don't like it. Yeah? Yeah. Lean your chin down just a little bit. You're going to feel taller and feel more connected to your spine and all that. Right? Your spine has a gentle S curve. You don't want to mess that up too much. But we want to be mapped in a way that lets us feel like we're just hanging on this skeleton, okay? Sound good? So what does your head balance on? Your skull, what does that balance on? Neck, great. The top of the spine, right? What's that little guy up there?
I don't know, I'm not a doctor.
Yes. Yeah. So where does it balance? Where does it balance? You know? Where does it balance? You gotta map your body a little bit. You gotta map your body a little bit so you can have better posture. Because you don't know, and how you're gonna do it. You don't know. You have a misconception about how your body works when you're singing, then you're going to continue to do it wrong, right? So, the top vertebrae, right, is that atlanto-occipital joint, okay? It's a little tiny thing, and it's kind of right behind between your ears, a little in front. So if you put here, okay, do automatically? What did he do automatically, people?
Put his chin
Didn't you? Do you feel a little taller? Do you hate it? Put your hands down. Okay? So your skull is balancing all the way, like the middle of your head. And all the way up here. Not back here. Up here. Okay? Sound good? Okay. So, the chin where it is right now is sublime. Okay? Try seeing this very opening section. For me again. I'll let buzz. That first line with the chin down. Okay? Okay. Good. Or lip trill. Is that harder?
No, that's easier for me.
Good. No. You immediately move your chin up. Okay? Keep it up. Great. I think I've already sounded more connected and better. Okay? Now, do it on the text. Same way. Great. Chins up. Again. Breathe out. I'm Violet. You got out of your head, your memory was good. You didn't screw it up. Look at that. You trusted the work that you did, you trusted that your body knew it, you let your body take over, and guess what? You did know it. Okay? Great. Your chin's up again, man. It's just killing me. Yes. That is a much more noble posture. Okay? Your Alexander technique teacher will be happy with you. Okay? If you stay connected to your body and you trust your body when you're singing this, you're going to be so much better. Our Italians, when you think about Italians as a generalization, you think that they're just really, when you think of them, you think, they're smoking pipes and thinking deep thoughts and writing philosophy.
I have Italian friends, so no. I don't think that really, but I see.
Right, okay, so don't sing it that way. Right? Okay? Don't sing it that way. Right? They're more connected to the base things, the good things in life. Right? What did Pavarotti say? My person who inspired me to be a singer. He said, one of the nicest things about life is that we must regularly stop whatever it is we are doing and eat. Okay? So, this is the kind of that's the kind of people who know what's good, they know what good music is, they know what good food is, they know what good love is, and they're excited about it, and they want to sing about it. Can you try doing the second part of this in that way?
Okay.
That's not why about music. I know Yes. No. Do it again. Sorry. I got distracted. I didn't want you to do that. Does that feel right? Or does
Second.
Try it.
Wait, what?
Sorry, that's my bad.
Is that where that part comes in?
every musical goal you have. You should have 1, maybe 2 each phrase, max. Where are you going? Okay? You need to know, and we need to know based on how you're singing it, okay? That's going to help you so much, all right? And it takes work. It's silly work. It's score study stuff. You get in your body, you do a score study, you're going to do great. You walk around singing this to yourself, speaking this to yourself, write in a little tiny notebook, write the English text in a tiny, this is a great tidbit, write the English text in your translation in a notebook, okay? And then say, look at the English and say the Italian, okay? So it's just seared in there, okay? All right, be ready for the last thing. I've thrown so much stuff at you. You need a transcript of this so that you can like unravel all the craziness that we just did. You ready for one more thing?
Okay.
Aww. Okay, so your you know what chiaroscuro is?
No.
Okay, that's so important to this Italian repertoire. It's important to all of it, but it's a concept which is balancing the darkness of the tone with the brightness of the tone. Okay, and we want a balanced chiaroscuro. Okay, and what I feel like is happening right now is I feel like, and I could be wrong, I could be diagnosing this incorrectly. So somebody work on with your teacher. But I feel like sometimes the sound is getting great energy. You sound great. You're doing so many things right, but I feel like the sound sometimes is getting swallowed. Does that make sense? Is that something you've heard said to you before?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's going to help fix that? In my opinion, my expert opinion.
I'm gonna go on a whim here and say just keeping it open when I'm trying to sing it.
Keep it open when you're trying to sing it. Keep it open. I don't know exactly what you mean by that,
Um,
but I love the energy that you brought to it. And I know kind of what you mean, that feeling, right? Like not grabbing everything. Right, you have to do that. You want to grab, remember the Chuck Norris thing?
yeah.
Okay, you want to grab down here. You want to feel all the muscles around your knee. Ooh, yeah. You want to feel those hip flexors. You want to feel the pelvic floor. You got to do your Kegels, gentlemen. Do your Kegels. Thank you later. They're not Kegels. They're pelvic floor exercises for you, but okay. You'll thank me later. So you need to stay connected to your core. So you don't want to be loose down there, right? You want to be open down there. You want to be all wrapped around and cozy. Ooh, all those muscles wrapped around. Okay. So it's nice and tall, right? The chin down already helped. It already helped. Okay? The thing I think that's getting you to swallow the sound is that I don't think that your tongue is free in there.
It's not.
Yeah. Cool. Say, great. Now grab that bad boy.
What?
Now you're going to sing that like that. Okay? Yeah. Give it a shot. You practice this on your own later. Okay. Yeah. Ridiculous, right? We're singers. We got to be ridiculous.
Okay.
Great. What did you feel? What was different?
Well, I didn't have much control over my tongue, so.
Great. That's fine. Yeah. You weren't letting it get in the way, right? You were still able to do it, right? I mean, obviously you couldn't understand the text and all that stuff, right? But what did you feel your tongue was trying to retract?
Yes.
Okay, so what the tongue is attached to just above the highway bone. The highway bone, if you feel right here, everybody can do it. Just gently palpate the thyroid region. Okay?
which is right here around where your Adam's apple is. And as you talk or you swallow, you feel a space. And palpating that area, keep your fingers in there, if you're really gentle, and sing like that. Okay? Now, when we sing, we want the laryngeal position, this voice box, to be low and relaxed, and to stay low and relaxed. Okay? If the tongue is tensing, and it's attached to the bone that is at the top of the voice box, what's happening? What happens when you flex a muscle?
It's very tense.
Does it shorten or lengthen?
Shorts.
Yes. So what do you think is happening there? You're bringing the larynx up. Ooh, we don't like that. We don't like that. That's one of the hardest things about singing is keeping that tube long, as long as you can. Why? It's going to make your just sound so much more resonant. And you're going to feel so much more freedom and flexibility in your singing, openness in your singing, so that you can make choices like what dynamics you want to sing, like where you want the line to go, how, what kind of colors you want to bring into it. Okay? I know we have to end, but I want you to sing this open one more time. I want you to sing it open. How do you sing it? Flex the core. Okay, keep the chin down. It'll be fantastic.
Can you do the second phrase that?
Yeah.
Keep going. The second phrase. Just do it.
Just right there. Yes. Woo! Better. You're getting there by the end, okay? That's what we want. You're starting to free up a little bit. You got through the nervousness a little bit. You're starting to free up. Everybody go like this. Take your two thumbs. Pressing them pretty firm, okay? Yeah. Does it feel gushy?
Yes.
If you're singing, it should never not feel gushy. Everybody hear that? When you are singing in this classical style, it should never feel hard. If it feels hard, that's because your tongue is grabbing. So it's a great way to remind yourself to free up the tongue. You're singing your warm-ups, you're like, this part stinks, I hate the way it sounds. I'm going to remind myself. See if you can keep it loosey-goosey while you're singing all the time. Just practice that. You're not going to get there immediately. You're not going to. Remember this guy? What was I doing? Reminding you to keep the soft palate lifted. Because in order to not have too nasal, you have to close off the nasopharynx. We don't want air leaking up in there in this style of singing. Okay? Those are really easy ways that you can use the tools you have available to you to learn to sing better. Okay? You're not like this. You're like this. You're not grabbing here. You're releasing your tongue every morning. Ah, aye, 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 aye. Me na 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 na. Stephen Smith, naked voice guy. That's what he says to do. Me na 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 na. Me na na na. Over and over and over and over. Tongue flipping up. Okay? You like this. No jaw. No jaw. Wait, as soon as you get the jaw out of the way, you can kind of do one of these. Kind of get it going. Yeah. You're gonna just the world of what you can do, express everything with your music, so you just open up. Okay? You all did such an amazing job. You should be proud of yourselves. Thank you.
I'm going to take a short intermission just for Dr. Hiscock to gather himself, get ready to see them all the time, and myself. I need a little break. So, almost 6. Let's plan. I mean, we're going to plan to start the performance around 6:10. still be time for the rest of the evening.
Beautiful.
All right, 6:10. We'll
Thank
start
you,
with the
everyone.
recital. Congratulations to the performance. All right, ready to continue?
Yes.
All right, thank you so much for sticking. I'm sure you all agree that was a very wonderful masterclass, very interesting indeed, and a lot of exercises, a lot of body awareness. So something that I will take with me as well. So now we are going to proceed to the recital portion. And I just want to share with you guys this story because there's a reason why everything's kind of cramped together in the middle of like orchestra week and like next week is spring choral concert. Dr. Hiscock, he jumped into this opportunity like very last minute, in the last 3 weeks or so, I believe. Dr. Hugo Rivera, friend in common that we both have, was supposed to come here to work with the students and give a recital as well. Hopefully we can have them in the future, but we were talking about this other unrelated topic with Jared, and I was like, hey, you want to come and work with some of our students? And he said, yeah. So my intention was, okay, so it's like, this is mid-March, so I just need to find someone to work with our students. And he said, why did we do a little recital? And I was like, man, you're going to have me learn new music now? So I'm sure, I'm sure he will tell you more about the Argento piece, that it's a recent piece that he premiered in Nebraska, or like performed in Nebraska. I don't know if it was the first time or not, but in this last Salt Creek Song Festival last year, and he just done it recently too. It's a fantastic full 30-minute cycle.
A little over 40. Yeah.
Oh, a little over 40. So his original idea was like, why don't we do that? And I was like, there's no way I can handle that right now. You'll see why. I mean, just with the excerpts and everything that's going on here at the college. But I'm so happy that he agreed to give a little performance, and we put a little recital together that could give you a taste of different styles, different languages. There's some Italian, German, a little bit of everything. So I'm just very grateful, and I wanted to share that with our audience. In addition to that, we are going to pay a little homage to our dear friend of the Fine Arts community, Scarlett, who has recently passed away. We want to just send our sincere condolences to the family. We know, yes, how much she liked our performances, and I personally had a wonderful relationship with Scarlett in the last couple of months or so. So just really grateful that I was able to meet Scarlett, and we wanted to dedicate this performance to their memory. So.
Okay, I try to not be a talker. I normally am a walk up and do a full Vintoraisa and then leave, kind of performer. But I figured in this kind of format, which is a little bit more informal, just on a Masterclass, it would maybe be helpful to set a little context for some of these pieces. The first piece on the program is an aria, one of the big, meaty, juicy arias of the baritone repertoire. And the role is Ford. Ford is a wealthy man who has a beautiful wife, Alice, and there's another gentleman, Falstaff. No, Falstaff, right? It's Shakespeare, taken from Shakespeare. He has 3 operas, Othello, Macbeth, and Falstaff, that are all based on Shakespeare plays. And the thing that's happening in this aria is Ford is overcome with jealousy, a common Italian theme in opera, okay? Because he has put himself, this is a comic opera, but this is a moment of seriousness because he's put himself in this horrible position where he thinks his wife is going to be unfaithful to him. And
he's just overcome with jealousy because he doesn't know what to do with a marriage that is uncertain. She's his Rome, and he never thought that this was possible. And he's the one who designed this problem, put her in this position. And it's something that we do, but it speaks to kind of the theme of all of the pieces tonight. And it's kind of the outline, so that's why I started with it, is because the theme kind of running through all of the music tonight is the struggle for human connection, the struggle to find love in all of these different kind of ways, and what that looks like as a part of our lived experiences. Sometimes people say that opera, this music isn't applicable to our lives, but everybody has been in relationships where there's been times where you questioned that relationship, and you just wanted that person, you wanted them to know how much you love them and how stupid you feel, and you want revenge, and you want reconciliation. Okay, so that's the first piece. The second two pieces are from Argento's song cycle, which he says himself is the biggest song cycle he ever wrote. It's the most challenging thing he ever wrote, he said. And it is the true story of three Swedish explorers in the late 1900s, 19th century, I'm sorry, in 1897, the late 19th century. It was the race to the North Pole. Not like it was the race to the moon recently, it was the race to the North Pole. Everybody wanted to be first, and Sweden had kind of fallen behind. And there was a guy, Andre Solomon, who had a great idea that the way to get there is a hot air balloon. They were also all the rage. And there was new stuff happening with hot air balloons. And he went to a French hot air balloon maker, and the King of Sweden said, yes, I'll fund it. And he got three guys together, and they took off and went to the North Pole. And what do you think happened? After 3 days, they crashed over the ice, and they spent the next while going on the ice, and they all crashed. And 30 years later, another expedition found their remains, their journals, their letters, and most magnificently of all, a canister of film, which was still sealed shut. And even though the film had been frozen for a long time, it wasn't corrupted beyond their ability to recover some of those photos. So what I'll allude to is that I had worked with a digital artist who took 13 pieces in the cycle, took 13 photographs that she felt like connected to those pieces, and overlaid digital artwork with them, manipulated them, and then we projected those as a part of a semi-staged production of this piece this last year. So that was very exciting. So these two pieces come specifically from the character. The baritone in this plays all three characters, these two are from Niels Strindberg, who was the one who wrote love letters to his dear Anna. And they're just really moving. I thought they would be appropriate tonight because even though he knew that they were going to die, he knew that they were going to freeze out there, but he still took the time he had to do this. He had to write these letters. That was his way of just releasing all of the burdens of his life, was sharing with one of his loved ones. So I think that just kind of speaks to that theme. Even in these really hard places that we find ourselves in life, sometimes we put ourselves there. Most often times we do. But we're still yearning for human connection and yearning to find love. So that's the first little section. Thanks.
Sorry. What will you be thinking? First and foremost, I must congratulate you, for this is your birthday. Oh, I wish I could tell you that I am in excellent health, and that you need not fear for us at all. We are sure to come home by and by. But it is strange to think that not even for your next birthday will it be possible for us to be at home. And perhaps we shall have to winter here for another year more. We do not know yet, for And you can imagine how I am tortured by the thought of it too. But for my own sake, for now I do not mind if I have hardships. As long as I can come
Thanks, y'all. We need a towel. Cool. So that's like kind of the first time, I guess. Now we're getting to do some German art song stuff, which is kind of fun. So the first selection is from the Lyric Leader. So Wolf is an interesting character, right? Wolf is kind of known for his songs. He got kicked out of conservatory because somebody lied about him, and then he was kind of itinerant, and he kind of wandered around. There was people who were introducing him to all of these famous people. He was meeting people like Brahms. He became a devotee of Wagner. He worked with Mahler, and we went through these bouts of huge creativity. And in one
one year, he writes 53 of these Miracle Leader, in addition to other stuff he was working on. But they're all this poetry, which is really interesting, by, you guessed it, America, who was a German Lutheran minister. And in his spare time, he wrote famous poetry. And it's very interesting because it runs the gambit of human experience. It's not what you would expect from a minister to write. It's the dirty, it's nitty-gritty stuff. It really gets into all these different themes, and the Miracle Leader actually is for different voice types, and there's absurd kind of stuff. It ends with this song, Abschied, which is about this guy who shows up at the top of the stairs in his apartment complex and tells him what a grotesque nose he has, and then he kicks him down the stairs. And that's how the cycle ends. And he says, ha, I never saw somebody tumble down the stairs so magnificent. You know? But this opening selection is, this is the first of the cycle, and it is someone who is sick and is feeling like death is just on their doorstep. That there's a deathly halo hanging over them. And they say, I've tried all this stuff. I tried everything, but I never looked to the gods. I never looked to them. They were looking, I thought they were just looking for their feast or whatever. They didn't care about me. But then they say, like, he says, forgive me, oh, forgive. Can you just look on me one more time with your this final selection is a little different. It's different. It's a super important piece of music in the baritone repertoire. It's a very important piece of music just to all of the music. Their Lyreman is the Hurdy-Gurdy Man. And this is the number 24. This is the final selection of Schubert's massive song cycle, D911 Winterreise. And this is Mühle poetry, and it's all about this person who is going out in a winter's journey. And they had someone who they loved and cared about deeply, and they got something happened. We don't ever really know exactly what happened. The opening song is the mother talked about marriage, and they were going to get married, and everything was going to be good, but then he had to leave for some reason and go off in the snow and trudge through the wilderness and have an experience. And at the end, he's at the edge of a town, and he sees a hurdy-gurdy man, and he's just exhausted. It's just the very end of everything. But he sees the hurdy-gurdy man, and he says, he describes what he's seen. The whole piece is him just describing. He sees this guy who's there cranking his hurdy-gurdy, and it's making this kind of sad music. You can go look it up later. It's a real instrument and all that stuff, you know. And he's got like a little, he has a tiny little thing for, he's busking. People could put money in his thing. He's barefoot, his fingers are cold, freezing. He's rocking back and forth. But he just never stops cranking that thing. And even though nobody wants to see him, nobody wants to hear him, they all let him know it, the dogs even let him know it, he doesn't let them keep him, he just keeps going. He doesn't let him bother him. He doesn't let him bother him. He just keeps turning. And this thing here is steady and true. And maybe it's death calling for him, you know, or something. But he says at the very end, he says, "Wonderful man, will you accompany my songs? Can I stand by you? And you'll be the one who hears my songs, and we'll be together." And that's it. Anyways, see what you think. This is one when you give a student for the first time, it goes like, what? Oh, I forgot to say, the reason we chose this piece is because it kind of mirrors Argento kind of does the same thing. In that first selection, Argento does a sort of back and forth with the voice, piano has a thing, and you gotta come in the right time. It's horrible. But this is that same kind of thing. So he's thinking, there's some music that's happening, so we're kind of very much in collaboration throughout this whole thing. We're on equal footing. We mean as much, it's just as important to listen to what he's doing as well. That's right. Just singers, you know. All right. Thank you all. This has been so much fun for me.
quick.
Yeah. So, yeah, music folks, we have our orchestra tomorrow at 7:30. Spring choral concert next Thursday. And then a piano guest artist next Friday night. So, quite busy.
And then Saturday, come to the play at Franklin Community Theater.
That's on the
It's
first.
hilarious.
That's on the first, right?
What?
No, that's a different one.
That's a different, oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is community theater.
Community theater.
Yeah.
Is it a Friday or Saturday?
Well, it's actually Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So you have a chance.
Yeah.
Come there.
Just miss the one on Friday.
Yeah.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
Stick around. No.